Hey guys, good morning and welcome back to a brand new video. I am Aditya Orange and in this video we are going to learn about NumPy, especially different types of arrays in NumPys. How we can create special type of arrays in NumPy. So let's start. So I have this canopy window open. As usual, we have to import NumPy first to work with it. Import NumPy as n. So now we will create a array of values having everything as zeros. So that's a special type of array which we can create with numpy function. Okay, so let's try to create a 2 by 2 uh, array of all elements having 0. How can we create it manually? Let's try. A equal to n dot array, and inside we give data. So I said 2 by 2, that's a 2-dimensional array we want to create. So we will give 2-dimensional data inside. So the data I'm giving as a 2D list. So one list which is a 2D list having a 1D list inside of it. So there can be one list, two list. Let's do 3, 4. 2 dimension, but not limiting to only 2. So one list enclosed in another list. So 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, again 0, 0. Let's enter. Now let me hide this. Okay. A. So we created 4 by 2, 4 rows and 2 columns of a numpy array having all values as 0. Let's say we have to create a 10 by 10 array of all the elements having zeros. So one might ask, why do we need to create array of 0? Because in numpy, as I said earlier, we cannot add elements later on. So if you want to work on a 10 by 10 matrix, you have to have that matrix at first. In list, we can keep on adding one element one by one. So for earlier, initially we have one element in list, then we can have another, then similarly we can add another one by one. But in numpy array we can't do that. So we might want to have the size fixed, but the values can be updated later. So how can we create similar array using numpy function? So let's have b equal to n dot this simple function zeros, round brackets of zeros function, and then inside we give the dimension of how we want to create it. So dimension also we give inside enclosing brackets. So it could be as tuple we are giving the dimensions or as list. So I'm giving as tuple. So 4, 2, comma, we can specify data type or it will take it automatically. So let's do without. So if I press B, now I have 4 by 2, same, but the data type it chose is float because it is 0 point something. I don't want float, I want integer only. So how can we specify that? So in the zeros function we give dimension or how we want the array, comma, data type, b type equal to int. Okay, now b is an integer array having all the values as 0. So that's how we create an array of all elements zeros. So similarly, if you want array having all the elements as 1, we have one function for that too. So that function is ones, like zeros. So let's say c equal to n dot ones. Same way we have to give the dimension. So this time I will use list. So let's say 7, 7. huge. We can create it manually, but why? We can create it using one line. And data type equal to integer. Okay, enter. Now if we display C, it is 7 by 7 array of all elements having value as 1. Next, in maths you must have come across identity matrix in 11th or 12th in matrices chapter. So how can we create an identity matrix? So for that also we have function. So let's have E equal to n dot EYE. EYE for identity matrix. So here we will give dimensions. So let's give dimensions. 3, 4, comma, data type equal to int. It didn't work. Everything seems right. The data type and dimension. I must be forgetting something. What could it be? You guys guess? Identity matrix is a square matrix, and square matrix means rows and columns are same. So we have to give only one dimension. So 3 means one value 3. So 3 rows and 3 columns. 4 rows and 4 columns. So if I give 9 rows and 9 columns. So now if I display E, it is identity matrix. See, this element is 1, this element is 1, this element is 1. So if a question comes in exam, how can you create an identity matrix without using this function? There is a method. Means if you know for loops, you can iterate through the matrix, and where the indices are same, like 0 0 1 1 3 3, sorry 2 2 3 3. So where I and j means row and column are same value indexes, there you can change the value of from 0 to 1. So let's do it. Okay, so I will create a matrix of zeros first. It says you cannot use I matrix, I function, but you can use zeros. So f equal to n dot zeros. Okay, so here I will have to give both rows and column, and comma d type. You can skip d type if you are fine with it having float as the data type, but let's have int only. F is this, all are zeros. I have to change the diagonal elements to 1. So how can we do it? So using for loop, iterating over rows and columns. So for I in range 3. Okay, next for j in range 3, because we have 3 rows and 3 columns in range function. It starts from 0 and stops before 3. So 0, 1 and 2, it will take values for those only. So we have here 0th index 0 0 0 1. So outer loop has I, so I will play the role of rows. Okay, inner loop has j, so j will play the role of columns. So now I will use if else. If I equal to j, when I is j, when the values of I and j are same, I will change the value from 0 to 1. Okay, so this is f. How can we update f of I? Indexing, and f of j equal to 1. See, the property of loop is it will run through its loop completely before jumping out and going to outer loop. So let's say initial value of I is 0 because it's starting from 0. So range will give 0 0, 1 and 2 values. So initially I will pick 0, then it will go inside. Now j will pick 0, 1 and 2. So initially it will pick 0. So I is 0, j is 0. Now it will go inside in if else, if condition. So I is equal to j, 0, 0. Now it is true. Now it will go inside and change f of ij. F of ij is this. F of 0, 0 is this. So it will be changed to 1. Now it will come out from if. Okay, now it will go to for loop of inner for loop for j in range 3. So I is 0, outer loop. J is 0. It was 0, it went inside and it came out because it completed its execution one time for value of j as 0. Now it will take value of j as 1. So z and go inside. I is 0 only, it's outside. So we will not go outside until we have completed inner loop, j loop for all the values of j, which is 0, 1 and 2. So for next value, j took 1. So we go inside, and if I equal to j, they are not equal. So it will not go inside and will not update the value of f. Again, I is outside, j will go into loop, inner loop. We will go into inner loop, and the control will go into inner loop, and the value of j will be updated from 1 to 2. Okay, so again we will go inside if 0 equal to 2, no. Come to the inner loop. Now j has taken all the values 0, 1 and 2, and it is done. Now go to outside loop for outer loop for. Now it will change from value 0 to 1 and then come inside, and the inner loop will run again 0, 1, 2. So for 0, no equal. For next time 1 equal, we will change value of f of 1, 1. So it will be changed to 1. Similarly, it will happen for 1, 2, no change. It will go up 2, 2, 0, no, 2, 1, no, 2, 2, yes, and it will change the last element to 1. So now if I display f, it is an identity matrix of size 3. Okay. I hope you guys understood. Watch it one more time if you have any problem. Now zeros, identity matrix, ones. We have also full function, and what it does is assigns one value, a value which you give to all the elements. Let's say I don't want an array with only ones or zeros. I want an array with all the values as 7. It's my wish. Okay, so how can we do it? So same way, f, we use f, g, we can use same, but why not? G equal to n dot array, n dot full, and inside function we give the dimensions. Okay, here the dimensions can be different, 5, 2. Okay, so dimensions, and we have to give here one more value because we are giving user value which will be copied to all the cells. So let's say 7 and data type equal to int. Let's say what it will do if I give complex. Let's see. G. See, I gave 7 only, so the imaginary part is 0. So 7, 7, 7, 5 rows, 2 columns. Okay, so full we are done with. So we can have it in integer also. So 7, 7, 7, 7, no imaginary part. How can we do this without using full? So simply we can do arithmetic operations on NumPy arrays. So create an array of all the elements having 1, then multiply it with that number which you want. Okay, let's do it anyways. G equal to n dot ones, and let's give 3 comma 4. Okay, and G equal to G star 7. Let me show G first. G equal to G star 7. Now G is 7. So simple. So next what we are left with is, let's say I don't want anything. I just want a blank skeleton to store the values which I will receive later. So So there is one function empty where we do not assign any value inside the cells, only will create a structure. So empty function is used there. So let's say em equal to n dot empty, and here we have to give dimension. So let's say 3 comma 3. Now if I display em, this wait, I've increased the font, that's why it looks weird. So one value is this, second value is this, third value is this in one row. Same for another row. Let's have the data type as integer. Okay, so integer value, 1 value, 2, 3, same way. So the name suggests empty, but it has values inside it. Why? Because empty means we are not giving any values. It is randomly generated computer values. So one more concept I would like to explain here of storage. Normally we think how much data we have saved, that much storage is only used, and values are written on the hard drive for that that file only. But in reality, everything on the hard drive or SD card has some value inside it, 0 or 1. Okay, but the structure is stored in such a way that for files which we have saved, it writes 101 for the files which we have saved, and whatever extra is there it discards. Means value is there, some value is there, but it does not read it because we haven't stored anything there. So that is treated as empty space and shows to us, like the computer shows it to us as free space, but there's something there. So when we delete file, it does not erase it from the memory. It just removes the record, like a memory or a link that there was something, like computer had map inside it mind, like on A we have this value, on B we have this, on C we have that. Now I deleted B and C. That doesn't mean the values are gone. Values are there only, but in my mind only link with A data is there. B and C are empty for computer, but values are there. So if now I want to store something new, it gets overwritten on the place of B, but the previous value of B is already is there until I overwrite it with some new value. So that's how data recovery also works. So people say I've deleted the data, how can I recover it? And we have software to recover it. So that's how it works. So it searches the empty space for which the links are broken and finds whether the random data makes any sense. If it makes sense, then we have recovered the file. So for that we need to write good algorithms, and that you can do by doing this first. So excelling at basic stuff first. Okay, so this is some random value written. A block has been assigned to us where we have not overwritten anything. Means whatever was there, it's there. So we are seeing that value. How Python is interpreting that value? It 1184556736. It could be something else. It could be a text message which, as a integer, it is interpreting as 1184. Okay, because I have given data type as int, so it is interpreting that thing as 1184. It could be hi, hello, something, anything. Okay, so that's the concept of empty. Now let's see one more thing. Copy function. How we can create a copy of a data. As I said earlier, let me create an array first. A equal to n dot array, and data I will give 2, 3, 4. Okay. So I'm creating a 2D list, 2D array. So A is this. Now we can create another copy of A as B equal to A dot copy. I think we have to give the round brackets. So now B is also A copy. Means first I said in the earlier video I gave an example of B equal to A. So both were pointing to same data. Now I have done B equal to A dot copy. So a duplicate copy is created for A. Now if I do like this, let's see what will be the output. A is B. False. See, earlier when we did B equal to A, it gave true because both A and B were pointing to same data. Now it created another duplicate. So in the memory they are different, so they are not equal. Okay. So that's how we create a copy of existing data, existing array. One more thing is there, transpose. You might have come across the concept of transpose in matrices in your maths subject. So we can do transpose here also. Okay. So let's do transpose of A. So B equal to, I'm overwriting the data in B. A dot transpose. Now B is this and A is this. So transpose means shifting, making rows as columns. Yes. Each row as columns. So that's for all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned something new. If you find anything difficult, please go through the videos again because it's pretty straightforward. And thank you for watching.